All right, sorry I'm not here with you guys today, legends, but I'm actually at Children's Mercy Hospital. My 1-year-old Isaac is getting tubes put in his ears because he's got lots of ear infections, and this is supposed to help out. So I'm at the hospital. I wish I could be here with you all having some fun, but I gotta be with my family today. So do you want to point out what you're going to be doing during Math Ed? I want to point out Taylor's working with ratios. Google presentation because it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and show that to you. She's got her title slide here, working with ratios, and then she goes into explaining what a ratio is. She shows the 3 different ways here. You notice the colon, the word to, and the fraction version. And then we're gonna jump right into ratios here. She's got this cute little picture of an otter, and I'll just go ahead and make these picture a little bit larger so you guys can see that. And it says, find a 2-to-1 ratio. So the 2-to-1 ratio is what? Should be easy. Tell your neighbor. All right, hopefully you got it by now. It is in fact that for every 2 otters that are closed, there's 1 mouth that is open. For every 2 otters with their mouths closed, there's 1 that's got its mouth open. Now that makes sense. Now her next question, and I want to point out because this is very creative and very, this is a very good slide. It says, now, how many otters would have their mouths open if there are 16 otters with their mouths closed? So originally there's 2 closed, but all of a sudden now there's 16. So the question you have to ask yourself is, how did you go from 2 being closed to 16 being closed? What's the math? Tell your neighbor, how do you go from 2 to 16? All right, hopefully you told him by now. Should be by multiplying by 8. So if you have to multiply the number of otters that have their mouths open, mouths closed by 8, you have to do the same thing for the mouths open. So how many otters would have their mouths open? Tell your neighbor. Should be 8. The new ratio should be 16 to 8. It goes from 2 to 1 to 16 to 8. So I thought that was a pretty cool slide. I wanted to go over that one. Another really cool one that I thought that was just absolutely adorable here is find the ratio, the 3 to 2 ratio. Stare at those gorgeous little kitties hanging on the clothesline with clothespins through the socks. Keyword, socks. Tell your neighbor, what's the 3 to 2 ratio? All right, hopefully you got it. 3 of the cats are in white socks, where 2 are in colored socks. And again, she gives away the answer on the next slide. For every 3 white socks, there are 2 striped socks. And then she gives another question here that says, say that there are 12 striped socks, how many white socks will there be? So these are just some great slides I wanted to point out. So that's what you're going to work on during class. Now, if you happen to get done with this and you're like, what do I do now? I'm going to jump over to D2L and show you what you can do. Some of the classes have been making videos on how to divide fractions. They're down here. There's Wilson and the Jamaican Man. There's Sydney Squared. There's Ronan and Jamil dividing fractions. And Dragon and Willie doing some math, yo. You can click on those and watch those. And then make your own using Screencast-O-Matic. Okay? So your first priority is to make your Google presentation with at least 3 examples. The goal is to get to 3 examples. If you get that finished, jump over here to D2L and take a look at these 4 very funny videos. And I do think they only work in Chrome. That's just kind of a side note. I think these videos only work in Chrome. I was having difficulty getting them to work in Internet Explorer. So watch those videos, and then maybe if you have time, make your own, save it to your U drive, and maybe we could upload it to D2L if I think it's good enough. So have some fun with your presentations. I wish I could be here with you all. If you have any questions, ask Mrs. B, but keep in mind of the team rule. If Mrs. B catches you off task, straight lunch detention. We don't deal with kids messing around and being disrespectful. Mrs. B is an amazing teacher, an amazing mathematician, so please be respectful and follow the instructions that I gave you. Other than that, I will see you all on Tuesday. Bye-bye.